Hello, my friends. We're going to start a new project. This is a really super cute wine curio, so you can put wine inside of it. I did go ahead and off camera put a coat of Dixie Belle's Bonding Boss. This is not a vintage piece of furniture, which is my usual. This is a home decor kind of piece of furniture that you would buy, so it was super slick. So we did wash it first with some degreaser, deglosser, and then I just did one coat. You're supposed to do two, but I just did one coat of the Bonding Boss. The Bonding Boss will bind and allow the paint to stick and not peel off. So we did that. So we're going to put a coat of Dixie Belle's Stormy Seas, which is a really, really pretty blue with a gray undertone. And at first I was going to paint the inside of the wine part a different color. And then I was like, nah, let's just paint the whole thing one solid color. Now, in hindsight, I will tell you that what I'm doing right now I shouldn't have done, right? So I like to show you these videos so that you can see where I made a mistake. So I am going to put some decorative tissue paper on the back part of the cabinet. Normally, with tissue paper, you want the underneath, before you put the tissue paper down, you want the surface to be a lighter color. So the white that it was would have been perfect. I shouldn't have painted it blue. I should have actually just put a coat of white paint on it, which we will then rectify here in another part. But I was just so excited about painting, I painted the whole damn thing blue. It should have been white, because I will say that, and now I'm going to fix that. Tissue paper will not show up as well with a dark background. I always put a white background behind all of my tissue paper, even if my tissue paper is black, because then it will brighten it and make it shine. Now, if you don't care about that and you want it to be super, super dark, then paint it a darker color. But generally, a lighter color before you adhere tissue paper is the way to go. So I went ahead and fixed that real quick. I am going to go ahead and do 2 coats of blue on the outside of this piece. I'm not going to blend anything on this piece. For once, this is just going to be a very simple piece. What's going to come into play and make it really pop are the little things that we're going to add, like the tissue paper accent, the wine rack that goes inside of here. We're going to patina and rust. So it is going to be super fun. So I pulled out this tissue paper. This is the decor tissue paper from Redesign with Prima. Sorry, I did not get the name of this one. Now I'm taking a satin clear coat, and the one that I like more than anything is Dixie Belle's satin clear coat. The reason I like it for decoupage only, I don't use it as a top coat, I use it for a decoupage medium, is that it is a thicker top coat. And what that means is it doesn't dry super fast. If I were to use the other higher premium quality top coats like a gator hide or say Wise Oval's One Hour Enamel Clear, what would do is they dry too fast. And you want something that has a little bit of an open time. So this is more of like a glue consistency, and it stays wetter longer, which is great when you're doing decoupage. So I'm just going to do a section at a time. I'm putting the clear coat down over the white paint. I did not trim this to fit. My reason behind that was this. I would rather just kind of fit it in and then cut the excess off, instead of trying to, like if I tried to cut this and make it fit perfectly, it would never work, ever. It's just too hard to manipulate papers as such. Now this paper is kind of cool because it's not actually technically a paper. It's more like a material. It's like an interface feel. So you can see where the paper's like, it's too big, right? We were going to use a blade here in a little bit and we'll cut off that excess. I normally wait till my tissue dries, but in this instance I didn't want it to stick to the side. So what I did is just get a surface. Now you don't have to do this, but I actually got the angle that I had in the back, and I put it up in the corner and got a brand new sharp blade and just ran it down. And what that will do is cut that paper and allow me just to have a nice crisp edge. I did not do it on the other side. It just tears right off. I couldn't get it to go in there right, and my hands are all backwards, so I just used the corner to cut. You can also use some scissors to get you going. But to be honest, if you mess it up just any little bit, it's not going to hurt it. Now, after you've got it cut to fit, you're going to go ahead and take your clear coat again. Remember, I'm using Dixie Belle's Satin Clear Coat. And you'll see it kind of changes the paper into like a little bit of a opalescent, kind of a purplish opalescent. That means that it's going through those fibers and it's going to really adhere that paper, and it is now going to be one with the piece. It ain't coming off. So we've put it down as our glue, and we're doing it now to seal the paper onto the piece. This will dry totally clear. So if you get any of it on the side where you painted, you can just paint over it. Or you can actually seal your paint with this if you would like to. I like to use wax, so I don't usually use a top coat like that over paint, but we're just going to do a little bit of time. We're not going to put it on super thick. We're just going to really watch and make sure that we brush it into all the fibers on that decoupage paper. Now, this paper actually came in a pack with 3 different designs in it. So I just use one. It's a 20, I think they're 20 by 30 sheets. Just use one, and then I'll save the other 2 for another project. But super beautiful. It kind of had that kind of a rusty quality look to it to begin with. So I chose this because it went really well with the Stormy Seas paint. Which Stormy Seas, if you've never used that paint, that's the color. It's in the Chalk Mineral line for Dixie Belle. It is a sensational color, like so popular. People love Stormy Seas. Whenever I paint anything with it, it sells right away. Now, if you've missed any like spots, like I could tell I had a bubble right there, so I picked it up and then I just let my brush run back down and get it so that I didn't have a bubble. Now, if this was a normal weight tissue paper, that wouldn't be so easy to do. But since this decoupage paper is more of a material, it's way easy to manipulate, and it doesn't tear ever. So you can see where that kind of, like I said, it changes it to kind of almost like an opalescent purple. It's because it's wet. When it dries, it'll totally be clear. You'll never see that. And like I said, it's the best medium to use. Don't use Mod Podge. I can't stand Mod Podge. This stuff works a million times better. It's easier to work with, and it seals the surface. So what else do you need, right? And you don't need a lot of product. Okay, now we're going to come to the fun part. So Dixie Belle has a patina line. They offer 3 different paints. One is copper, one is bronze, and one is iron. And when combined with a patina spray, either a blue spray, a green spray, or a yellow spray, when they are processed and sit for a few hours, they change colors to make things look from new to old. So what I like to do is use a combination of the 3 paints. I love the iron. It's what makes rust. I love the copper. I love the bronze. I like to kind of use them all together to give myself a different look. Now, I will tell you that on this one, I did start off with thinking I wanted kind of a greenish look, but when I finished it, it didn't turn out the way I wanted. So then I went back over it and just added more of the rust effect. Now, this is the wine holder part where the wine bottles go. I unscrewed it, took it out of the cabinet. I am just going to dab on, and what I mean by that is I took a chip brush, one of those brushes you buy for $2 at the hardware store, and I cut the bristles down really low. I've been using the same brush for probably 3 years. I don't use it for anything else. What I've done is created this little pouncing brush. So when I put the product on, It is not in a smooth motion, but a pouncing motion. When you think about how rust acts in the wild, it is not a smooth, it's not smooth rust, right? It's bumpy, it has texture to it. So the magic that happens with this paint is the paint goes on. While the paint is wet, you put the activation spray. And in this instance, I'm using green. I'm also going to dab a little bit of yellow here and there. I'm not going to use the blue spray at all. What that's going to do is turn the iron paint rust, the bronze paint, into that verdigris bronze, and the copper paint, same thing, a copper verdigris. So it's just a really, really fun, cool effect. So you just kind of sporadically do it. I am not dipping in one specific color. I'm dipping in all 3 colors. As soon as I'm done, I spray, and you might want to wear gloves with this. This stuff doesn't come off your hands very easily. And then I just hit a little bit with the yellow. It takes anywhere from 1 to 6 to 9 hours to get the stuff to change. This is like a half an hour after I did it. This is where it starts to change. I generally do it, let it sit, and then when I come back the next morning, I'm always amazed by how pretty it is. Now, I didn't like that there was so much green, so I went ahead and changed it and added more rust, as you can tell in this picture. So here's our finished product. It's all put back together. We've got the background. This holds like 16 wine bottles. So it's just a peekaboo. So if all the wine bottles are out, it's still a piece of art. We've got the Stormy Seas with some clear wax and some dark wax. And then we've got just this really elegant wine cabinet. You guys, this is so fun and easy. Even you can do it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.